Capture finished.
All right. All right, let's have a look at this. Hey, crying Zeppo. Right, so what I've been doing is I've actually moved the entire operating system onto CPU 0. CPU 0, it says CPU 1 here because they messed up the naming system, so it's different. But I basically moved every single process other than Fortnite onto just the first core, and then I've allocated all the other ones to Fortnite. And you can do that with CPU sets. You can't seem to do it with the affinities in Processor Soup because EAC blocks you. But I seem to have been able to do it with the sets. So this is kind of opening up a whole new world for me at the moment. Some of the things you can't set, like system, memory compression, registry, some of these you can't actually set. I don't know why that's suspended. What's going on there? But I've set everything that I can here, basically. So what I've done is you select all, and then apart from, oh, I've already done that one, so okay. So CPU sets, they're not set. So you right click, CPU sets, always on the first core. I'm basically trying to move everything onto core 0 for the operating system, and then everything else for Fortnite. Yeah. So it just says some of these things you can't do. Like you can't do memory compression, you can't do system, you can't do memory. So what I end up doing, because I don't want him repeating this error over and over, I actually then go and find these guys and then remove all the rules afterwards because they can't be set anyway. So you might as well just remove all the rules. So that way it's not trying to redo it over and over and over and over. But everything else, look, I've got running on core 0 now, apart from Fortnite, which I've got running on 1 to 7 for the CPU sets. Yeah. I've pretty much taken out all the other rules. I think the only other rule I've got is to induce performance mode, exclude from pro balance. And there's no point in doing CPU priorities or affinities because EAC just blocks them. But CPU sets, yes. IO priorities won't work. Memory priorities won't work. I'm tempted to just do a power profile to stick that on ultimate always for this one. But yeah, look, everything else I've got running on 0. I've got running on 0. So you can ignore the CPU affinities because that I'm not doing anything with that. It's CPU affinities is like a hard. You can only use these CPU cores. CPU sets is more of a soft suggestion to the OS where it puts things, and it seems that the anti-cheats are much easier on that, and because they don't let you do the CPU affinities. So the CPU set seems to be working just as well as I would be doing it in the CPU affinities. So that's cool. And you can see from the cores, they're quite evenly spread. So the first core there, that's just basically now just running the operating system. And I've got everything else on here. So I've been running this replay, the endgame one, which is really, really useful for me because I haven't been able to test anything like this before. I've only been able to test my games normally, which are much easier and less crazy at the endgame. So this is actually really, really useful for me for tuning. So I'm trying to pack in as much as I can here. Now, this is going to change a bit next week when I get my new PC because the whole point of eCores is that they run the operating system and then leave the P cores for the game. Whether or not how well it manages that, I don't know. But I can now supplement this potentially and just basically, I don't know, maybe run 8 P cores, 8 E cores, which is half of them, and then allocate do exactly what I've done with sets here, and allocate everything to the 8 E cores, which should be plenty. 8 E cores running up 4.2 gigahertz. That will be way too much, if anything. but it gives me that extra pool that I can put stuff in. And by having less E-cores, I'm then using less voltage in the CPU and lower heat. And then I can pump up the gigahertz for the P-cores because of that. So that's my current plan for next week. But at the moment, I don't really have that kind of reserve set that I can move the operating system to. So I'm having to use one of the P-cores to do that. And then the game then loses effectively a P-core. So if that all makes sense, I'll run another benchmark here. Actually, no, I just ran the benchmark. I don't see why I need to do it again. Maybe I do need to do it again, but we'll have a look. I think I just added a couple of extra ones there to Core 0. But I think I just finished that benchmark there. Did that work? Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is really useful. OS on Core 0. Let's have a look. And then we can compare to what we had before. I have just ticked on a load of extra things for it to monitor. I don't know whether that's going to impact things. But, okay, that was actually the worst run I've had so far. Well, that's interesting. I might run that again because that was after a reboot. One thing to know, I keep getting black screens of death if I start messing around with the desktop manager. I've had a couple of black screens of death, so I am leaving that alone. Some people on YouTube suggest that you should put this into efficiency mode and have it on idle. I found that's giving me black screens of death, so I'm not touching that. I'm leaving that alone. And that is actually using up a decent amount of CPU as well, so I kind of would like to drop that, but I'm not going to if it's causing big crashes, so no thank you. But everything else should be on Core 0, apart from the game at the moment, and the ones that you can't actually change. I actually clear this log just to make it a bit clearer to see if anything weird's going on. Right, so let's run it again, and you can see it's interesting to see what the first core is actually doing here. So this one, it's CPU 0, but it's labeled 1 here. So you can see that the game is pretty much maxing out these ones, and then the operating system goes from like idle 1%, 4%, 3%, and then occasionally it blips up to like 59 or something there. So and then 61. So if that's doing that during gameplay, that will obviously be impacting your lows. Look, every so often it blips up to 50 something. So by having the game dedicated to its own cores, it should not be affected by this as much. Yeah? All right, so let's run this again. Because I'm capping at 240 right now, and I can't even maintain 240 on this replay. So you guys with your X3D CPUs are doing much better than I am on this. So this is what I'm trying to work it out. Let's board CPU 0. So we're going to press play and go. I'll run it again.
Capture started.
Did I miss anything important from yesterday? I don't think so. I think we pretty much ended back where we were to begin with. It's always good to try new things and then rule them out. I was also this morning testing all those that video, the core whatever his name is video. I tested a load of stuff in there and it was kind of okay. I don't think so. That shouldn't be doing that. No, that's not a good idea. I don't know how people are getting only 50 processes after running that. Because there's not much, he doesn't run the CTT tool. He runs, I looked at the services that he's disabling and nothing special in there. There's some things I would not recommend disabling at all either. So that isn't accounting for the 50 processes. I don't know what is, to be honest. Yeah, he'd see some benchmarks on Discord if I So if it had been better, you would know about it. So one thing that is interesting, on my test environment where I test all my latency and I have the full NVIDIA driver installed, I don't have Norton 360 for gamers. I have Windows Defender and I have what's it called? Thread run, what's it called? Throttle stop to kind of calm down the Windows Defender interfering with CPU. On there, I get worse results than when I run the replays on my main gaming environment. So I don't know what's going on there, whether it's literally just the difference between Defender and Norton 360 or it's something else, but I get much better results on my main gaming environment. The one I recently recreated and then built live for everybody. So I get better results on that. So that's a good sign that the guide is working. I don't know whether I've got some remnants of an old test or something that's messing up the old one or what. I don't know. Anyway, can you see the CPU 0 still going 4%, 10%? So that is running everything on the computer apart from Fortnite EXE. And Fortnite EXE is running all the other ones afterwards. It's quite well load balanced actually. Look, Core 2 is 91, 82, but the lowest ones are, well, actually Core 8 is 60. That's quite low in comparison. 56. It's not too bad. Nothing's hitting, look, nothing's hitting 100%. Is he not using another debloater in his video? I didn't spot anything. I spotted the, what's it called? The one that gets rid of all the privacy stuff. Or was it OOT or something? I can't remember. But that's already built into CTT. So I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, one of the tools he uses is the Windows Club kind of Windows Optimizer tool. And that still recommends prioritizing IRQ8. I mean, oh my God. So no, don't use things like that, please. Some of it was just cringe. It was pure cringe, a lot of that. Anyway, good to know what other people are doing. Yeah, and then there was the hidden NVIDIA profile inspector and the hidden power plan. But as I said, I've never seen a power plan that's much better than Ultimate anyway, so it's not really worth it. Ultimate's pretty much maxing things out already. Right, what are we doing? We're having a look at those results, see if it's better the second time around. See if I've got any big peaks. No, I didn't get any big peaks. So this is nice on CPU 0. Just because that was actually a thingy run, or should I get rid of it? That was actually better. It's getting, the trouble is, the longer I leave this on, the hotter the computer gets. It's actually worse the second round. Two. Yeah, that's actually the worst one of all. When I did try this earlier, I was getting better averages, but it's kind of dropped now as it's got hotter. If I look at the analysis and I look at the sensor data, how hot's the temperature? Averaging 51. What am I averaging now? It's still 51. Is it drawing more power? 83 versus 83. So why is it getting... Why is it going on? I put something on core 0 that shouldn't be on core 0. The lows are still all about the same. I wish I could do this where I moved all the operating system to a non-P core. I won't be able to, I can't do that on this one. But then I'd have all 8 for the gain. It does impact it not having all 8. I might try. I might try actually taking off the affinity, the priority set completely for this, and let it use let it use 0 as well. I always stick it on 8. I could stick all of these on 8. Should do that. We try a different one, maybe one that's going to be really quiet. So we try and stick everything on 8. A whole lot. Right click. Sets. Always. Clear. And last one. Okay. Now I've just moved it onto 7, which is the last one. I've now moved everything onto the last one. I'm still letting Fortnite now, letting these do their own thing. I'm still letting Fortnite go on everything. So Fortnite's across everything now. I've now put pretty much everything else onto the last core instead. Let's see if that's any better. Well, either way, I don't have to reboot for this. It's quite useful. I mean, maybe I should be putting hyperthreading back on and then allocating the operating system to the hypercore threads. And then they're a bit like E-cores, I suppose. And then leave the P-cores for the game. Well, CPU sets has just opened up a whole new world. Look at my CPU, look at, oh wait. Let's go again. Ready, steady, go. See if this is any better. So now watch CPU 8. If it hits 100 sometimes. Looks alright at the moment, it looks relatively quiet. Quiet. Does that mean I need to reboot for them, some of them to kick in? Maybe. Maybe I do. Okay, we'll run this through, and then we'll reboot, and then see and run it again. See if it's any better. It's interesting when I tried the overclock for the GPU, that actually made the FPS worse. That was interesting. So this is a replay, so it can't be network related. It can't be disk I/O related, because I checked Process Explorer and it was hardly doing any disk I/O whatsoever. None of the CPU's cores are hitting 100%. So there's no bottleneck there. So the only bottleneck it can be are the speeds of things. Because no resources are hitting 100%. So only the core megahertz, the core frequency, and the speed of the memory should be reducing the FPS. It's how fast the CPU can process a certain amount of data. It doesn't have too much data to process, it's just that the data it is processing is taking longer than I can get 240 frames out of. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? But the only way of speeding that up is to speed up the memory or speed up the CPU. My memory's pretty fast, so I'm 5 gigahertz processor is pretty fast. Faster than you guys are probably running on X3D, but then you've got that L3 cache right next, literally glued onto the CPU, so it doesn't have to go very far. And so that bit of memory is just communicating and calculating things a lot quicker than the distance between a fast CPU and fast memory, and then it has to go and do that. Oh, it's 5 gigahertz as well, is it? Okay. So it's really the difference is the L3 cache. I think that's the difference. You're getting those FPS from the L3 cache, whereas I have to get my FPS from my memory, go all the way across to the memory and back. All right, have a look. So this is OS on CPU 7. That. They're getting worse and worse. Interesting. Well, it's a bit better. Still going down. 192. Seven up here. That's with literally no changes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's put everything back to normal rules wise. We are changing a lot of things with these CPU sets here. So let's select all of them. And remove all rules. See, yeah, look. So I've removed all the rules, and it's still 0 to 7. Oh wait, no, wait. Yeah, running on only 7. Oh, I'm wondering whether I need to reboot for it to kick in. If I stop Fortnite, I should be able to see whether it's running on 7 though, shouldn't I? There you go, stop Fortnite. See, it's pretty much just running on 7. So I think I needed to reboot there for that to actually kick in. Right then, let's put it all back again. What did we go up to? I remember runtime broker. Damn it. I think I needed to reboot there for that to kick in. All right, let's. Doing a select all again. Just on 7. Okay, couldn't do those 3 things. So we're going to take off the rules for the 3 things it couldn't do. There we go. So it doesn't keep trying to do them over and over. Everything here should be on course 7 right now. That one. Now, do I need to reboot? I think I'm going to reboot it anyway, just in case. And then we'll make sure Fortnite can run on anything it wants. Restart. I mean, you're still going to get IRQs going certain places, like CPU 2 for the GPU, CPU 3 for the input device, CPU 4 because they've allocated to the network card. So they're still going to have activity on those ones. I mean, I'm wondering whether I need to do CPU 2 for... No, it still should spread the load. It shouldn't be that high. I really should be doing all this in the test environment, not my main environment, but I can always just... And the only thing I'm changing right now is the processor SU, and worst comes to the worst, I can just reset the entire config very easily. All right, so look at this again. Still got a couple of things going on. What's going on that one? Camera monitor. Memory compression. Obviously these are the rules for any things that are currently running. So if something pops up and then disappears again, it's not running anymore. So I can't do it for everything on the computer. I can only create rules for what's in front of me at the time. See, that's just appeared. What even is that? What is that? Now it's disappeared again. How do I know that's not going to appear and reappear during when I'm playing? I don't know. How do I create a rule for something that isn't permanently there? I guess you can see where it was running on. I mean, it's giving the guide of 7 there. It should be fine. All right, so let's start up Fortnite again. Still running on that one. Right, so that's just started. Has that got... See, there's 2 here now. That's 0 smart screen and 0 to that. I need to now create the rules for those 2 because they've just appeared. This is why it's best to do this when you actually started your game and you've got everything up. Always 7. See, what's that one? That one's now appeared. Come on, give me a break. Right, no new pop-ups, please. Should be everything, yeah? Apart from those 3 that can't be done. Okay. Stop on that. You guys following this, or you're all falling asleep already? Anybody got any suggestions as well? Answers on the postcard. Launcher. I mean, some of these don't have CPU sets right now. I want everything other than the actual game running on 7. Has it started yet? Once it's started, I'm going to Alt Tab and then thinking about what I want for snacks. All right. I mean, the Savatarix video recently that kind of went through some processor SU stuff. He's got a Intel 10th gen, 10900K, I think he's got. So he's actually got 10 cores. So he's got these extra 2 cores, P cores that he can allocate to the operating system anyway, and then still run games on at like 8. So what applies to him, most people don't have 10 P cores. Not even the latest Intel processors have 10 P cores. They mostly have 8 P cores and then a bunch of E cores. So this was before Intel went from increasing the number of P cores to just saying, okay, let's just have some E cores. So like that video only really applies to his processor. I can't really follow that either. Right, okay, so that's up, kind of. All the processes should be running now. So the only ones we want, again, let's do everything. Everything that doesn't have a CPU set. and do the CPU sets always 7. Yeah. We're trying to put everything on the last core right now, apart from those 3 that didn't like it. And then we'll take off the rules from those. I've got some audio dropout there, I noticed. Yeah, I'm getting audio dropout. What's having trouble with audio? Yeah, audio's dropping out. That's interesting. That's really interesting. And audio can cause stutter if that has problems. So I think I need to find the audio thing and put it back to normal. Ooh, doesn't like that. I don't know if you can hear that, but it does not like that. Yeah, I'm getting audio dropouts. And look at the responsiveness. It keeps going down. Wait, unless I've put Fortnite all on one core. I think I've put Fortnite all on one core, haven't I? CPU time. That's exactly what I've done. That's exactly what I've just done. Yep. What happens when you put Fortnite all on one core? So you can tell it's working. All right, now it's better. That Fortnite's now on all of these ones, and you got the operating system on the last one. So that, I think that's all right now. I still think there's an audio service somewhere that probably needs alleviating a bottleneck or two. I can't see it anymore. There we go, audio DG. Do I want to leave that alone? I don't know. It depends how busy this last core is. I mean, if it's got its own core to run on and it's not hitting 100%, it should be all right. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at the interrupts here. How much responsiveness? I want to clear this log. I don't think new comes up. Right, so I want to watch from here. See if that red line drops at all right now. That just dropped. Why did it drop? I don't want it dropping. It should be just solid red line at the top. The responsiveness just dropped. Why did it do that? Why do you think it might have done that? See what's using CPU up. This DLL host, desktop manager. There was the audio thing a second ago. Maybe. No. Don't like the way it's doing that. I think I'm going to go through these one by one and see if we can put it back to normal and see if we can stop these little processor C, remove all rules. Did that? Why is it saying 0 to 7? Still saying 7. I just removed all the rules. Okay, so removing the rules doesn't actually fix this. Does it? No. That's interesting. Removing the rules doesn't actually fix it. Okay, so. I might leave that alone as well. I don't like messing with DWM. I just don't like it. Don't like messing with it. It just causes issues. Okay, that's on normal. That's been taken off. System. What's that network thing that just popped up? Don't know. Let's jump back into that replay because it's that's going to be, it's not going to be maxing it out like the thing in the lobby is. So let's jump back into that replay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Down here. Yep. Pause. Gameplay. Key for time. 20 minutes. Let's just look at the FPS right now. Capra mix up. Yeesh. Pro balance cap frame X. Don't really want to be pro balancing cap frame X. All right. So what else is using average CPU time? Processor state, I've taken off that. I don't know what that DL host is, so I think I'm going to take off that as well. Always cleared. Clear, remove all this as well. I don't even know what that one is. Probably to do with Fortnite. As I say, I want it so that the red line doesn't go down at all. It's looking better already, to be honest. What else is using up CPU time? Play container. Do I want to be messing with that? Maybe. What's this one? Service host. Do I want to be messing with that? Quite a few services on that one. Including, well, that's quite a lot of services on that one. Kind of don't want to have rules for that. I kind of don't want to have rules for that. CPU sets, always none. CPU sets, always none. Okay. So we're just trying to get these a bit more even, I suppose. But the red line isn't going down anymore, I noticed. So there's no responsiveness being dipped since we kind of undid the top ones here. That's always on 7. We've left Norton always on 7. All right, so let's see what that does. See what that's like. Pretty sure we're running NA. Oh, it's because we haven't started it. Oh wait, no, we need to reset it. If it's doing that NA thing, normally means you need to refresh CapFrame X. You need to do a refresh here. There we go. If it ever does that, that's normally the fix. There we go, it's working now. All right, so spacebar 9. If this is any better.
Capture started.
CPU 8. Keep an eye on that one. 39, 24, 37, 53. The thing is, ideally, you want to have an even load across all the cores. That's going to give you the best results. And at the moment, we've now got a core that's doing a lot less than the other ones. I know Fortnite has got completely its own access to all of them now. Or has it? Doesn't seem to be running on 8, to be honest. That's a good point. Okay, I'm going to stop that.
Capture.
I'm not sure it's running on 8. Given those numbers, I don't think it's running on 8. Okay, this one. Sets, always. Yeah, it's not running on all of them. Let's give it access to all of them. And then just basically put everything else onto a quiet one. Like that. Use the time. Time for tea. Let's go again.
Capture started.
Yeah, that looks a bit better on 8 now. Six and 7 look relatively quiet. First one looks okay. 6 and 7 seems to be the quietest now. 7 specifically. I mean, maybe I need to allocate 2 cores to the OS. I mean, yeah. Nothing's really better than just leaving it to do its own thing so far. Which is a shame. But as I say, next week, when I get my monster, I can start playing around with the E-cores more. Really don't think I need 16 E-cores, all running at 4.2 gigahertz, to run the operating system and stuff in the background. I don't think I need that. So disabling half the E-cores, as I say, should reduce the power draw, should reduce the... I can then... to reduce the temperatures, I can then probably run lower voltage, lower temperatures, and higher P-core frequencies. That would be more of a gaming profile. But, I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm only doing gaming on this, so. I mean, Sevatarix was saying that after about 600 FPS, latency becomes the biggest issue. I mean, my latency is really low on this PC, so that isn't the issue for me. Right, so look at that result. That. Where's Captain X, please? Running, because it's right there. Did it crash? Oh, please don't be hanging on that side. It did crash. That's where this actually causes some black screens of death sometimes, Captain X. It's whatever it's doing to hook into the applications. Loading records. Look how slow this is. I don't think this is better. I think if you've got spare CPUs above 8 P cores to move stuff onto, I think that's good. But I think kind of taking one away from the game and then shoving everything into that, I just don't see how that's better at the moment. Is this any better? Doesn't seem to be. Seems to be, does it? I mean, this is kind of the first run where I hadn't had anything done to it at all. I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait till next week with the E-cores, to be honest. That's the problem. Sorry, guys. I pressed the mute button and then it messed everything up. And now I've not got a camera. I'm going to stop the stream and restart it. That was the only way to actually fix the camera last time. Although saying that, I know you can hear me now. I've unmuted it. I don't know why the camera's not working. Deactivate it. Reactivate it. I think it's OBS. It's just frozen.